Hi everyone, welcome to Answers to Bible Questions. My name is Evelyn, and with me is a friend and a founder of Christ is Plain Daily Business and Ministries, Tyler Crown. Welcome on this show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, today we're gonna be looking at reconciliation. In our previous episode, we discussed forgiveness, how to train the forgive, and what forgiveness is meant and what it is. Now, I want to look at reconciliation. Okay, you have truly forgiven my brethren, my fellow brother and themselves. Maybe something transpired, and okay, I don't want to revenge. I don't want to pay back. I'm going to make because of the men of Christ. Can I fully become the person's friend? Maybe we were friends before. Can we reconcile? How do we do it? Practical approach. No.
It's not compulsory to reconcile. That is one thing you should put in mind. Paul and Barnabas, they had a sharp disagreement and they just went to their own ways. There was no issue of this person does not forgive, that person does not forgive, because nobody was trying to harm the other person. And they went their own way, pursuing their own aims. I don't think we need to think reconciliation is like the be all and end all. You can't force relationship. You can't force it. Things have to just grow and evolve on their own.
Naturally.
So while it's a fanciful word, reconciliation, but
And it's
there's,
in the Bible. Yeah.
we are reconciled to God.
God.
Yeah, we're reconciled to God, but yeah, that is it. Reconciled to God. Because this guy said, do you think I've come to bring peace on the earth? Said, no, I've come to bring a sword. I'm come to create a dividing line. Sometimes the dividing line is so much that even God himself is creating that you can't even overcome. Jesus Christ can create such a dividing line that cannot be crossed between people. He said, a father will be the enemy to his son, his daughter and mother-in-law, and all that. They say a man's enemy will be a member of his own household. You can pray for your enemy, but it's not equal to be friends with your enemy.
Friends with your enemy.
That is complete.
Enemy must exist. Yeah, enemy is enemy, of course.
So,
because you are not in. Yeah. That's why it's enemy. But what I'm saying is that
I'm saying that
if you were friends before,
you shouldn't be so fixated on reconciliation. Sometimes you just have to move on and just pursue the will of God for your life.
Okay, so if you guys were friends before something went wrong and was so painful, no, you don't want it to happen again. It just sounds like, okay, I'm not going to do anything against this person because of what
that one is different. You need to tell the person this is what you have done, following the principle that just got laid out in which you want to declare this is what you've done, and the person may own up. It may be a misunderstanding, and he said if the person takes care of that issue, then you have gained your brother. I'm trying to say it's not something elaborate. It's not something that you must completely abandon. It's not something that you must like make it about your life. This is what I'm pursuing.
Yeah, but I want to draw your attention to this passage in the Bible, Matthew 5:23, talking about when you bring your gift to the altar. How would you explain this?
So let's start with 5:21. You have heard that it was said to an older generation, do not murder, and whoever murders will be subjected to judgment. But I say to you that anyone who is angry with a brother will be subjected to judgment, and whoever insults a brother will be brought before the council, and whoever says fool will be sent to fiery hell. So then, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there you remember that your brother has something against you, even that you have something against your brother, is moving it away from somebody doing something
you
against
being offended. Okay, maybe the person is offended because of even if you didn't do it, doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Yes. So it's
about the other person's feeling.
Thank you. So he said, and you remember that your brother asked something against you. You there in front of the altar, let's go and be reconciled to your brother. Here you are seeking a relationship with God. So what about a relationship with other people? That's the question being asked here, right? To reconcile to your brother means that you deal with that issue that has to do with your brother having something against you. Reconcile with your brother, then come and present your gift. That is a very valid thing. That what do you have against me? You want to resolve it, you want to take care of it, but it's not.
Maybe your brother just needed you to say, I'm sorry. Okay. Maybe sometimes because, like the scripture says, if you have something against someone and you told person is not ready to listen. So this time you know that maybe you are the other person that did not want to listen. Then you have to go back and probably apologize, settle that. Because you are the one that wouldn't want to listen in the first place this time around. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think, yeah.
So,
and
so sometimes you may want to say, oh, I see that you are having this problem with me. What do I need to do to make it right? And the person can tell you, I want you to stop going to church. Do you see that? That is a line that cannot be crossed. That there cannot be. That's what I'm saying. It can't be reconciled.
You can't reconcile.
Just to focus, just to say it has to be reconciled. No. And not reject it totally and say every little thing you must not reconcile.
Thank you very much. So, if they were brothers or distant, let me say acquaintance, it's still okay. You can still move on with your life. But let's look at the case of siblings or probably spouses, couple, where you have things happening between them and they have to be together for good reasons. How do you think they can actually reconcile their differences? How can they just keep forgiving each other? Because as a matter of fact, when you live with someone, you keep offending each other, whether intentionally, deliberately or not. So how do you think we can do it to make our relationship healthy? How do we live? Yeah, keep forgiving, keep reconciling, keep moving on without any problem or a major problem.
Yeah, that is a powerful question. Now, one of the things I realize is that the basic tenet of Christ, we sometimes think we should not apply it to our immediate family. And sometimes overlooking other people's weaknesses. Paul wrote that you should bear with each other's weakness. That to me is such a basic thing, which means that not everything rises to level 5 alarm. That is for me a major aspect of relationship. You should be able to overlook so many things and put it to the person's weakness. And I'm supposed to bear with that other person's weakness. That's number one.
Giving excuse for the person that, okay, it might not even have done it.
Yeah, that this is the person.
Maybe preparing our mind ahead would help. Like, okay, I'm ready to take it. Yeah.
It's better to do that. That is such a better thing than trying to forgive. Yes.
I think, yeah. Because sometimes don't even try to accommodate the offense. Because there's no point here. Don't accommodate it. No. Because this is your spouse or this is your brother or sister from the same parent.
Of course, that is what Paul advised brothers and sisters, bear with each other's weaknesses, because we sort of have this high standard that we think must be met. So because our high standard is not met, that means so many issues become blown. And it's like, what is this? Some tiny thing just swallows up everything else. And it's tiny, something that can easily be overlooked. It's not an emergency situation where you call the United Nations Emergency Council. Not everything is at that level. So, and it's when you don't recognize that at that level, when you allow those things that should be regarded as small to begin to eat at that relationship, it becomes unnecessarily overblown, in my opinion.
So in practically now, so maybe we should
let me say something about the wife.
Okay.
That was about having a quiet and gentle spirit. that is precious in the sight of God. And
Right.
he said, maybe if somebody like that is married to an unbeliever, by witnessing their gentle spirit, they will come to Christ. Now that is one. Peter also has an advice for the man. He said, live with the woman with understanding so that your prayer is not hindered. He said, do not be harsh to the woman. So we are saying those attitudinal issues that needs to be in place in the family situation. Well, once you begin to say, let's reconcile, some things have been overblown already. Some things have become.
So
We need to get
we shouldn't have got to the stage. Yeah.
reconciliation is possible, but there has to be a recognition of the fact that are you being harsh in your tone, in your manners to your wife? There has to be a recognition of, am I exhibiting a quiet and
Gentle
gentle spirit? Or,
as a woman.
or I think I should be a woman rights advocate. Everything is oppression.
Are you trying to say that the quietness and the gentle spirit now is against, I don't know, is against you advocating for equity, not even equality this time? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Gentle spirit is a lot. Gentle spirit is a lot.
Equity and
Gentle spirit is a with a gentle spirit. You're right.
Yeah.
Gentle spirit wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't pursue.
My rights. Stand on my rights.
This is serious. You're very correct because if you're gentle, you're quiet, you let go. I think it's a point you are making here. So for spouse, for siblings, because we've seen
And the
cases
reaction
where
is even the problem. It's not even the issue that happened itself. That is handled. So I believe the scriptures helping us to not be harsh towards them. Your tone of voice, aggression, anger. Paul said, I want every man to raise up their hand without anger or dispute. Without this issue, let's resolve this one. Let's resolve that one. I want to resolve it. Come on.
There are little things we can let slide. We can just let them slide before
and not think in your mind that, okay, let me be a gossiper about my relationship. I want to use my relationship to be an example to other people. So let me begin to gossip about how even marrying my husband is beneath me. Let me tell people about that. If somebody is saying, can I marry this person? And you go to that person and say, you see, I married my husband, but you see, he's beneath me. But I'm still married to him. What are you doing? That is such a very evil heart, if you ask me. And you are convinced that you're doing the right thing in your own mind. That is not right.
Yeah, you're trying now. You're trying to give yourself a level of what's it called? I'm trying, really. I marry him,
and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You despise him in your heart.
Yeah.
And you let everybody know that even though you are couching it in some super spiritual words.
Well, I think we have to be very careful as Christians, and like you said, if your brother hurts you, you just let go so that it doesn't get to the stage of how do I reconcile. And if you don't have to reconcile on certain issues, I think we should just let it be. Just let's maintain healthy relationship. Let's help them when we need to. But we don't necessarily, we can put a boundary so that we don't have to go back to what caused that problem and what caused that problem at an issue. And the Lord will help us to do more in the place of being gentle, being nice, being good enough to let go our differences and try to resolve whatever issue so that it doesn't get to a stage where we have to, invite the host of heaven to come settle it for us. So thank you everyone for joining the show. I hope you've been able to get understanding into how to resolve our differences and to let some of this things slide before you agree to something bigger than we can handle. I pray that the Lord will help us to maintain healthy relationship with our brethren, our spouses, our friends, and with everyone we come across in life. Thank you. Please don't forget to share, like, and send in your comment. If you have an experience you want to share with us, please feel free to do so in the comment section or click the link in the description. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.